Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Yes? Yes, it's on. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Good evening, and welcome to Lighthouse Church of Restoration. I am Sandra Williams, and I'm going to be going through Exodus chapter 3 tonight with you. Starting in verse 1, it says, Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the backside of the desert. He came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb. Now this area, the mountain of God, is also, we know it as Mount Sinai. And an angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. Here, God is described as a flame of fire, a divine light, a bright and warm and loving light that is identified as the glory or presence of God. Some say that this experience to Moses may have been described as God coming to him without judgment, a profound sense of acceptance and peace. Verse 3 says, And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. But in seeing this, Moses was curious, and so he had to investigate, what's going on here? And with this light, that's how God draws us to him, with his light. When we are in darkness, we search for light, as even with the shepherds and the Christmas story, that the shepherds followed the light to find the ultimate light of Jesus Christ. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Now in Hebrew would be Hineni, or Hineni Adonai. Here I am, Lord. This word Hineni carries a deeper meaning of total readiness, availability, and commitment. Are we ready to commit to Jesus, to God? A willingness to serve. So Moses was telling God, I am here to surrender to your will. And we have to ask ourselves, are we ready to surrender to God's will? Are we ready to say, Here I am, Lord, send me to do your will? And that's hard, to be totally committed. It's easy to say, but to actually commit ourselves and to do it, it's hard. And we will see in just a minute how hard it is. And he said, Draw nigh hither, for thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereupon thou standest is holy ground. The removal of the sandals is a sign of respect, symbolizing humility and submission. This can also be a symbol of purity, since shoes carry dirt and contaminants. So by removing them before entering a holy place ensures the space remains pure. So being shoeless leaves Moses vulnerable and totally submissive to God. God has his complete and total attention at this moment. Verse 6, Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. In this verse, God is telling Moses he is the God of his lineage, the God of his father and the fathers before him. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. The appearance of God may cause fear or death. It was believed that if you looked upon God's face, that it would cause you to die. And so at this moment, Moses was afraid to look. But isn't that what our ultimate goal is to see God's face in heaven? To see God's face should be our ultimate goal as a Christian, but knowing that we have sinned and come short of the glory of God. We know we're not able to, but there is one, only one, that is worthy, and that was Jesus Christ. And through him, and only through him, we shall in the end be able to see God's face. And the Lord said, verse 7, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. Just like with the Israelites, God knows our sorrows and tribulations. But if we trust in him, he will always show us a way out of our despair. And I come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of the land unto a good land, and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. God not only was going to bring the Israelites out of their suffering, but he was sending them to a place of wealth. Canaan culture was known for its trade and its textiles, so the Israelites would be able to make a living and prosper there. Verse 9, Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression herewith the Egyptians oppress them. Herewith the Egyptians oppress them. Now come therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Sounds like God had a plan, and his plan included Moses. God was giving Moses instructions on how to carry out this task. Verse 11, And Moses said unto God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh, that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? At this moment, Moses did not feel worthy to take on the task that God had set before him. God said earlier, Here I am. But now he was having doubts. How am I going to do this, Lord? Well, God has a way, doesn't he? He always does. And he said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee, that I have sent thee when thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, that ye shall serve God upon this mountain. So God was going to be there with him, and he was telling them where he was going to worship him afterwards. And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am sent me unto you. I am, or in Hebrew, as we all know, Yahweh, the name that reveals God's eternal existence. Some say that it's the sound of breathing. Yah, inhaling, way, exhaling. And so everyone, every human, every creature says God's name from birth to death. Even atheists, they can't live without saying God's name. In verse 15, and God said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever. This is my memorial unto all generations. God professes that his name, Yahweh, will be for all eternity, generation after generation after generation, and so on. So praise God for that. Verse 16, go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say unto them, the Lord of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you, and seen that which is done to you in Egypt. And I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt unto the land of Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. Now God knew the terrible circumstances his people were enduring from the Egyptians, and was giving them a way to escape with Moses with his help. God not only was providing a way out, but also a way to flourish afterwards by leading them into a prosperous land. And they shall be hearkened unto thy voice. Verse 18 goes on. And thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt, and ye shall say unto him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, hath met with us. And now let us go, we beseech thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. God was telling them that, as we go on to verse 19. I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go. No, not by a mighty hand. God already knew that what it would take for Pharaoh to release the Israelites. He was just preparing Moses and the elders for the rejection they would receive. So how was God going to convince Pharaoh? Well, here we go. He says, I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go. Not just one or two deeds, but all kinds of wondrous deeds, it says. A total of 10 plagues that the Egyptians would have to endure before Pharaoh would allow them to leave. So the Egyptians are going to go through a lot before he would allow this to happen. Verse 21. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, and it shall come to pass that when ye go, you shall not go empty. So God was going to provide a way for them to go. But every woman shall borrow her neighbor, and of her that sojourneth in her house, jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and raiment. And ye shall put them on your sons upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Egyptians. God basically told Moses, the Egyptians are not only going to beg you to leave, but they were going to give you a means to do so. So in closing, if we submit to God and we trust in God and knowing that God is going to be with us through our tribulations, he will always make a way and provide a way for us. Thank you. Any questions or comments, concerns?